are 4-0 facing off against the St. Cecilia Hawkettes, standing at 1-1 on this season. Some starters for tonight for GICC: number 2, Tristan Hedman, a junior; number 6, Avery Kelly, a senior; number 11, Carolyn Mazer, a junior; number 12, Madeline Wires, a senior; number 16, Gracie Woods, also a senior; and Lucy Gaffon, a senior as well. We are just about underway here at the Crusader Dome, as Jackson Henry would like to call it, and going to be a good matchup here. I mean, these two schools have a long history of being volleyball schools, and so going to be a very competitive match here tonight.
Yes, they do, and both graduated good senior classes. We just had a little more upperclassmen coming back than they did. If you look at their starting lineup, very young, very young, but talented.
You get a few freshmen, few sophomore mixed in. Madeline Wires for GICC set to serve it here for the Crusaders, and we are underway. Bump over Lucy Gaffon, and we're going to get, looks like one of the Hawkettes crossed over the line, and it's going to be early GICC point.
Yep, came towards that net with a little too much momentum there.
And that's always tough, I think, just to be able to stop yourself before you cross that line and go into the net. That's also a really tough thing to do. A little bit of trouble there, and the ball goes into the net. That's going to be number 8, Bren Weeks, the sophomore for St. Cecilia, hitting it into the net, and GICC off to a 2-0 start here. Wires again to serve for GICC. Set up by Gracie Woods, makes a diving play, and Avery Kelly to look, and so back-to-back hits into the net, one by St. Cecilia, one by GICC, and so we got 2-1 game here. And for St. Cecilia is going to be number 36. Don't have her on the roster.
Yeah, when they pull out that alternate colored jersey, sometimes it messes up the numbers. So I'm sure, or maybe she forgot it.
Maybe. That happens sometimes, especially nowadays with high school kids. You forget some things sometimes.
Yeah.
Carolyn Mazer up to Lucy Gaffon. Oh, man, gets blocked by a crowd of Hawkettes, and Avery Kelly trying to put it over. It doesn't go over, and they're going to say 4 hits on GICC. So, first of all, GICC scores 2 right away. Then here comes the Hawkettes coming back with 2 of their own, and we are tied at 2-2. St. Cecilia's set to serve here, and sorry, Mr. Smith got kicked off the set. I'm joined now by Isaac Henry, the younger brother of Jackson Henry. Isaac, welcome.
Hello.
Set here by St. Cecilia, spiked, and it's going to go. It was partially blocked by Carolyn Mazer, but unfortunately for GICC, that kind of takes away the positioning that Gracie Woods had, and it gets the point for the Hawkettes. 3-2 now, St. Cecilia over GICC. And a low serve there. Carolyn Mazer going to bump it over to Avery Kelly. She kind of just tips it over to the Hawkettes. And partially blocked there by Lucy Gaffon. That's tough when you got a bunch of 6'2" girls. And another block, and that's going to be, I thought maybe 4. And then it was a double hit, I think, that was eventually called.
There's a lot going on that.
Whole lot of stuff going on there. So now GICC ties it up again, 3-3 here early on. Avery Kelly, the senior, set back to serve for the Crusaders. And a long serve, and that's going to go out of bounds. So service error there for Avery Kelly. And now entering the game for GICC is going to be number 19, Maddie Schneider, 5'6" junior. And Avery Kelly will come out of the game. Weeks serves it for the Hawkettes. Carolyn Mazer over the Gracie Woods. Wow, handled very well by the Hawkettes. It's going to be just kind of passed over the GICC, free ball for GICC. Lucy Gaffon gets a try, and there she goes. Lucy Gaffon puts the hammer down and gives GICC back to a tie here, 4-4 early on. And Hadley Hasselman, a junior, is going to come in for Lucy Gaffon. And Tristan Hedman, also a junior, back to serve for GICC.
Tristan had the, what was her run during Northwest? 7 or 9 or something like that?
Yeah, she had a really great game. Maddie Snyder there. Carolyn Mazer passed over there. Gracie Woods. It's blocked, but out of bounds, and it's going to be a point for GICC. That was Ryan Sabatka for the Hawkettes, getting the block, but just going a little bit too far out of bounds, and the point goes to GICC back 5-4 early on in this first set. Hedman with the serve. And wow, what a great serve. And that's going to be ace, sponsored by Coley Jessen. And talking about aces, I mean, Tristan Hedman and Carolyn Mazer were tied coming into this game, both at 9. And so Tristan Hedman's having a really good year serving the ball, and now up to 10 aces on the year. And makes that 11. Another Coley Jessen ace for the Crusaders and make it a 7-4 game here. The student section making a little noise down there. Hedman the serve again. Sabatka's going to just tip it over, and wow, what a great play. Just finding that little hole there of space there, and she puts it in. And here comes number 1, Rachel Thiessen for the Hawkettes, a senior. She's going to go back to serve. 7-5 here, GICC on top of St. Cecilia. Maddie Snyder tips it. Carolyn Mazer, she's looking for Gracie Woods. Puts it over. Handled well by the Hawkettes. And Tristan Hedman saves it for a moment, and then it goes into the bench of GICC. So 2 points back-to-back for the Hawkettes, making it a 7-6 game.
Pretty close game here to start. I mean, the momentum's kind of shifting back and forth with the serves of Tristan going to GICC, and then now to Hastings.
And so we get a service error there by number 1, the senior Rachel Thiessen. And so GICC up 8-6 now. Carolyn Mazer back to serve for GICC, and in comes Maddie Wires in for Hannah Goatley, senior for senior there. And Mazer's serve is over. Handled by the Hawkettes temporarily. Then they're just going to have a free ball over the GICC. Carolyn Mazer looking to set up for Maddie Wires, and handled well again by the Hawkettes. And that's going to be touched. I think it was touched by Carolyn Mazer. It was in anyways, but point for the Hawkettes there.
This is a well-placed volleyball.
And Ryan Sabatka, the junior for Hastings St. Cecilia. You've heard her name a lot in volleyball and also basketball in the past couple years. Good athlete, just a junior for Hawkettes. Well, fast serve there by Sabatka. Handled by GICC. Woods is just going to pass it over. And here come the Hawkettes. Number 8, that's going to be that freshman, Nathan Krikak. But Gracie Woods comes back with a kill of her own.
Yeah.
Gracie Woods, the kill leader for GICC. She's up to 44 now on the year. She comes in at 4.3 per set for GICC. So definitely one of the heaviest hitters for GICC, along with Lucy Cafon coming in with 3.6 kills a set. And Woods, the senior, back to serve for GICC. Up 9-7 here early on in this first set. Over off to the far side is Woods' serve. GICC is going to get the ball. Avery Kelly, oh man, good job by Thiessen to kind of get that ball. Here comes the Crusaders once again. Gracie Woods just kind of hits it over, trying to find the dead zone, but great defense here by both teams so far. Thiessen's going to have to free ball it over to GICC. Here comes Carolyn Mazer. Maddie Wires. It got blocked partially, but
there
then
we go.
whatever you can get sometimes. And so GICC gets the point there after a long battle. So both teams so far, it's been very, very contested when it comes to getting points. So a lot of good defense, and right there for Maddie Wires, even though she got partially blocked, the ball was able to fall. Serve here for Woods, and that's going to be ace for Gracie Woods. Sponsored by Coley Jessen there.
Yeah, I mean, miss hit, got it off the hands there, a little low. Can't do much about that.
Gracie Woods with 2 kills in the game already. And that's just out. Very close to being in, but it does go out in a service error for GICC. 11-8 here, and it's going to be number 6 for St. Cecilia, Nathan Krikak, just a freshman. So you see with St. Cecilia, they graduated a lot of talent, and now they're coming back with a lot of freshman, sophomore duos. And a little tip pass over by Carolyn Mazer. And we're just going to reset here with GICC. Avery Kelly looking to go, and that's over the top too. And so
so like you were saying, I mean, they brought back four girls on their team, so they have 4 seniors. And I mean, GICC has 5, so it's not a big difference there, but they definitely graduated some of their really good ball players.
Kind of a knuckleball there served by St. Cecilia. GICC is able to kind of get it over, and it's going to be a point for GICC. And that was a really interesting serve. It's a knuckleball, and those are kind of hard to read sometimes, but GICC did a great job. And here comes the senior Lucy Gaffon in for junior Tristan Hedman. Hadley Hasselman, the junior, back to serve for GICC. And wow.
Just gets over. Wow.
Some luck there maybe for GICC on
Yep.
their home court. And an ace for Hadley Hasselman there. So Coley Jessen once again sponsoring that ace there for us. And almost 2 aces there in a row. And then tipped down by Avery Kelly. A little too far over, and Avery Kelly just jumps up and puts it back, back down for the Crusaders. 14-9 now, GICC on top.
They're on a roll here.
Good serve by Hadley Hasselman. Man, that thing's coming in. Carolyn Mazer up to Lucy Gaffon. She puts the hammer down.
Wow.
Whoa! Lucy Gaffon.
That was
How
a
about
missile. An absolute missile to the corner.
And that's gonna bring in timeout for St. Cecilia. They're gonna call a timeout, and we're gonna take one with them. We'll be back after this quick break here at GICC. Welcome back to GICC. After that quick timeout, GICC's up 15-9 over St. Cecilia. Hadley Hasselman the serve for the Crusaders. Sabatka digs it. And Carolyn Mazer does a great job at digging that ball, and it's going to be over a little free ball by Manny Wires over to St. Cecilia. Here comes the freshman Kreekok for St. Cecilia, and here comes, oh man, and that was number 11, Peyton Sullivan, a freshman there, blocking Avery Kelly pass, and breaks the streak of GICC, making it 15-10.
They needed that right there. They didn't want Jesse to get any more points under their belt.
Especially after that Lucy Gaffon missile of a kill and taking that timeout. And so great job by the Hawkettes coming back after that timeout and getting the point.
Yep.
Here comes Maddie Wires. And, man, great dig by their number 7, Lindsey Parr, a sophomore. And, wow, whole bunch of saves by both teams there. Here's Kreekok, and she finds the corner for St. Cecilia.
That was a well-placed ball right there. There's nothing you can do about that.
Very well-placed ball there by St. Cecilia there. Back to serve once again is Lindsey Parr, a sophomore. I believe she had a sister that graduated last year. I can't think of her sister's first name, but Parr sounds like a familiar name.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn Mazer over to Lucy Gaffon, and she kind of had to slap it over. But here comes Brent Sabatka and goes right into the net. So GICC is going to get the ball back here. Up 16-11 here early on. Or getting more towards the later part of the first set here.
I mean, points are just racking up at this point. I mean, both teams are playing, honestly, pretty good. Just those few mistakes can cost either team some points.
And then it's going to be an ace serve there. Yep. That's Maddie Wires, sponsored by Coley Jessen once again. I feel like we'll be saying Coley Jessen a lot this year, especially with these serves. A lot of good servers on this Crusader squad.
There are.
Maddie Wires to serve it again for GICC, just over the net. But here come the Hawkettes. Brent Sabatka is going to have to put it over. Carolyn Mazer is going to put it up for Avery Kelly, and it's going to be blocked. But GICC doing a great job, just going to have to free ball. Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication there between Lucy Gaffon and Avery Kelly there.
That's not what you want. Two of your veteran players, Avery Kelly and Lucy Gaffon, just a miscommunication, not being loud enough, I guess.
And Avery Kelly is going to be subbed out. Here comes Maddie Snyder, and also Hannah Goatley, junior and senior, coming in for GICC. And Maddie Wires will sit the bench. Hawkettes turn the serve, down 12-17 here in the first set. Tristan Hedman, wow, that was a tough serve there. But Lucy Gaffon's going to put the hammer down and find that corner again. Man, a lot of good place balls so far. I mean, just kind of finding that open gap, and that's what you really need to do for GICC, and they're doing a great job so far.
They are. But even, I mean, Hastings has also gotten a couple of those thread the needle hits in the corner. I mean,
that's just good coaching. I mean, and we talked about it. Both teams are known for their volleyball over the years, and so a lot of good matchups in the past couple of years here. And we're going to get, I believe, the ball crossed outside of the antenna, and that's going to be a point for GICC. Maddie Snyder once again back to serve for the Crusaders. Pass over to Sabatka, and Tristan Hedman trying to get it. I mean, it was going to be close if she didn't touch it, but I mean, it's hard to tell, but point there for the Hawkettes. And back to serve is going to be the another sophomore, Bryn Weeks. So just a lot of youth for St. Cecilia so far. I mean,
definitely.
And you kind of like to see for the years ahead. I mean, you got a few seniors, but you also got a lot of underclassmen playing. Lucy Gaffon looking to kill, but she doesn't get it, and it's going to be a free ball over the GICC. Mazur's going to tip it up to Gracie Woods. She's going to have to free ball it over to St. Cecilia. And here comes Brent Sabatka, and she, wow. We talked about it before, Isaac, just perfectly placing the ball right where the line's at. And
exactly.
So St. Cecilia not going away without a fight here in this first set. 19-14, GICC on top here. Weeks back to serve for the Hawkettes. Mazur up to Lucy Gaffon, and partially blocked but by Brent Sabatka, but just so much power, I don't know if you can really block it back.
There's so much power behind that ball. It is hard to block.
So Lucy Gaffon will be subbed out of the game, and Hadley Hasselman, the junior, comes back in. Tristan Hedman, that's going to go long.
You don't see very many of those from Tristan.
Nope, especially when she's the leader for aces on the season.
Yep.
But an ace serve there for GICC, and the Hawkettes get the ball right back down, 20-14. It's going to be senior Rachel Thiessen for the Hawkettes to serve. Hannah Geltley over to Carolyn Mazur. She's looking for Gracie Woods. And great job by the Hawkettes defense. And blocked, but out of bounds there by GICC. That was Carolyn Mazur.
Good attempt by Hadley Hasselman and Carolyn Mazur, both juniors on the team, but
Hadley Hasselman
players.
Coming into this game, she has 7 blocks. She's leading the team in blocks on the season, so just about had another one there, but it unfortunately went out of bounds for GICC. And that's going to be another service error. And so far we've seen a lot of some well-placed hits, but then we've also seen a lot of service errors here for both teams.
Yeah.
Hannah Geltley out, and here comes Maddie Wires again for GICC. Carolyn Mazur to serve for the Crusaders. Sabatka is going to get a chance, and partially blocked by Gaffon and Hasselman. Excuse me, Woods. Gracie Woods. Kind of shoved down there. And just kind of a lot of back and forth here. Woods passes it over to Maddie Wires. Back to Woods, and she puts it down. Gracie Woods with the kill. She's adding up to her total.
That was a hard hit ball. I would have been scared if I was on the other side of that one.
We're going to get another timeout here by St. Cecilia. Down 22-16 here in the first set. We'll be back after this short break. Carolyn Mazur set to serve for the Crusaders, up 22-16 here after the second timeout called by the Hawkettes. Mazur's serve over to number 1, Rachel Thiessen. Ryan Sabatka is going to go, and that's going to be out of bounds, and so GICC 2 points away from winning this first set here. serve by GICC. It's going to be free ball to GICC. Carolyn Mazer looking to set it here for Hadley Hasselman, and she puts it down. Man, that's just
What
a
a
great
hit.
job of seeing the floor by the junior and finding that open spot.
Yep, right in the gap.
And so set point here for GICC, up 24-16 here in this first set. Junior Carolyn Mazer set here. And here's the class by the student section. They know it's 1 point away from going into the second set, and
There
an
we go.
ace by
Finish with
Carolyn
an ace.
Mazer. She ties back. She tries Tristan Hedman with 10 on the season. So that will send us into set two. GICC wins set one, 25-16. We'll be back after this minute break. After the first set, GICC winning 25-16 and set to open the second set here. For St. Cecilia's going to be able to serve the ball here. Little Librero back for St. Cecilia. And set number two is underway. Tristan Hedman with the dig here over to Lucy Gaffon. Able to be kind of dug out there by St. Cecilia. Tristan Hedman there. Back to, here comes Gracie Woods. And man, you saw that coming from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
And at first, whoa, Isaac, okay. And they said she was in front of the 10-foot line there, and that's what caused the point for the Hawkettes there. I was a little confused at first. I was like, man, I thought I saw it hit the line, but it was a 10-foot violation.
Still
there
an
by
impressive hit.
And a block there by Lucy Gaffon. Man, that gets the student section going and ties this second set up 1-1. Lucy Gaffon now with 4 blocks on the year. I'm surprised she hasn't had a little bit more, but you played some good teams, and they are able to kind of get over the top of Lucy Gaffon. Even though she's 6'1", she's still able to be a big presence there for GICC. And blocked there, I think that was Avery Kelly there. And so back-to-back blocks for GICC, making it 3-1 here in this second set. Excuse me, 2-1.
2-1. Yep.
Maddie Wires serve over to St. Cecilia. Here comes Brent Sabatka. She's just going to try to tip it over, but great job by Avery Kelly there. And Gracie Woods hits it into the net. Man, you see her coming. It's just, unfortunately for her, just going a little too low and into the net. Hannah Goatley, the senior for GICC, checks back, and Maddie Wires is going to take a seat on the bench. Weeks to serve for St. Cecilia. Dug out by Hannah Goatley. GICC trying to get it over, and they do. Wow, great save by the Crusaders there, and here comes the Hawkettes. And tipped at the net by GICC. Here comes Avery Kelly. Kind of just tips it over. St. Cecilia is going to be a free ball GICC. Lucy Gaffon over to Avery Kelly. Man, great defense by both teams. And I think they're going to call a net violation on Lucy Gaffon there. And I saw it. I mean, it's tough if you're Lucy Gaffon, but man, what a great kind of just play right there for both teams there. A lot of good defense, and unfortunately, St. Cecilia is able to come back on top.
Some great volleyball being played tonight.
Weeks to serve for St. Cecilia. Hannah Goatley over to and Lucy Gaffon out of bounds. Man, that's just tough.
So close.
Making it 4-2 Hawkettes up early in the second set. I mean, with GICC, you kind of see in games they start out a little bit slower in the early parts of the set, but then kind of waking up as the set gets going. Lucy Gaffon over to the Hawkettes. Here comes Weeks. Man, great defense by both teams here. Sabatka looking at, and she hits Mr. Mayfield. Is he worth the point? That's going to be a point GICC. Mr. Mayfield taking one for the team there. Man, he ain't as young as he used to be, though.
So, back to the starting out. So, I'm sure that's something Coach Duvall is working on with her team is starting out with better energy. Because I know a lot of teams struggle with that coming out on
it's very
Thursday
difficult.
night or something like that. Just not having the energy and then getting into the game late. Sometimes that can be hard. So, that's something as a coach to probably work on.
That's the point's going to be out there for GICC, and it is 4-4 now. GICC tied here. Avery Kelly set back to serve. And I mean, we talking about it once again. We went to the Northwest game, both me and you, and kind of the first two sets, Northwest looked like they're gonna actually pull away and win the sets, but GICC doing a great job and coming back and winning the sets here. And you see it right now. GICC was down 4-2, and now they have a 3-0 run here.
Yep.
And Avery Kelly set to serve for GICC here. And man, I honestly think, Isaac, that one was going to be out if St. Cecilia didn't touch it there. But it is an ace sponsored by Coley Jessen here for Avery Kelly. The senior for GICC set, and we have another ace there. Man, Avery Kelly, she's fired up. Back-to-back aces for GICC, and now make it a 5-0 run for GICC, up 7-4 here in the second set.
You really need a point here if you're Hastings. I mean, you do not want GICC to get on a run.
It just seems when GICC gets some momentum building, it's so tough to stop him, and that's going to be another violation, I believe, by St. Cecilia. I don't know if it was 2 hits or if somebody hit the net.
I'm not sure on that one. I didn't see what the
I believe it was 2 hits. Double hit there by St. Cecilia. So 8-4 now GICC. Kelly to serve once again for GICC. Sabatka. He kind of gets swatted. And man, what a block. Was that Lucy Gaffon?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a pinball machine on that St. Cecilia side of the court.
And there is going to be a timeout by head coach Kevin Schumacher of St. Cecilia after that 7-0 GICC run here. If you're St. Cecilia, just trying to stop the damage, because for GICC, it seems like when they get going, all of a sudden it's super tough to stop them.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw that in the Northwest game. All of a sudden, it was a slow start, and all of a sudden GICC kind of got going, and all of a sudden it was game over from then. I mean, the girls locked in and played some really good volleyball, winning against Northwest in 3 sets. I mean, for GICC, they come in 4-0, Isaac. I mean, they beat Northwest 3-0 in their first game. Then they played a tournament here in GI, and they played Broken Bow and Ord. They beat them both. It's 2 sets to nothing.
Yep.
Then they had on Tuesday night, they went to Blue Hill and beat the Wildcats 3-0. So GICC has not lost a set all year.
I mean, they are the Northwest game was definitely had everybody on their toes. Like starting out, like we said, GICC was starting out slow, just couldn't really get anything rolling, and then once we got to that 15-point
threshold,
spot
said.
in the match, I mean, or in the set, I mean, they just started going and going and going.
And maybe Avery Kelly with a little too much juice there coming out of the timeout, and a service error for GICC. Maddie Snyder to come in for the Crusaders here. And back to serve for the Hawkettes is going to be number 1, the senior, Rachel Thiessen. And we got senior Aiden Barron over there trying to hype up the student section over there. It's going to be free ball over to St. Cecilia. And it's going to be tipped back down by Gracie Woods.
That was dirty.
Gracie Woods, with all that experience, she knows exactly how to do that. She did a great job of just kind of shutting the ball back down at St. Cecilia here. Tristan Hedman back to serve for GICC. And Brian Sabatka over. And Carolyn Mazer, man, that really close to the net, but no call there. It's going to be kind of a free ball over the GICC. Carolyn Mazer is going to set up to Gracie Woods. She's just going to pass it over. Brian Sabatka, wow. And that's just great view of the floor. Finding that open spot, she just kind of tapped it over and finding that little corner there to the near side of the net there and point St. Cecilia.
That was a good decision by junior.
Sabatka, and then she comes back with the ace of her own. And Maddie Snyder, that thing, I don't blame her. That thing was coming in hot, and she just had enough time to get her hands out in front of her face before the ball was there. And so St. Cecilia, once again, after the timeout, they seem to come back with a little bit of fire.
Yeah, they do.
Only down by 3 now. 10-7 here in the second set. Whoa, and man, Sabatka is hitting the heck out of that ball. Carolyn Mazer over to Hadley Hasselman. Just kind of shoves it over. And here comes the Hawkettes. That's going to be number 7, Lindsay Parr. But GICC doing a great job on defense. Both teams have been doing excellent on defense so far. Parr again. She's going to get the kill. And, man.
Good try by Maddie Schneider, the junior. But that thing was just on a line.
That's something against like some other teams that I watched GICC play. I haven't seen other teams hit the ball this hard, and that's going to be a service error by Ryan Sabatka there. So GICC gets the ball back, up 11-8, and here comes Maddie Wires in for GICC. Carolyn Mazer set to serve for GICC. Oh, kind of trying to catch the Crusaders off guard there, but doing a great job. And Brent Sabatka kind of with a one-arm hit of the ball, but it falls to the ground, and GICC with another point there, 12-8.
Carolyn Mazer to serve.
Good job by Maddie Snyder. Just able to kind of corral that ball in. And then Gracie Woods, man, that hit off of Ryan Sabatka so hard it went all the way to GICC side there. And then that's going to be point GICC there. So, wow. A lot of good defense, and then just a lot of power swings.
A lot of action in that point there.
Up 5, Crusaders. Carolyn Mazer set to serve. And just talking about the quality of the serves, you see Ryan Sabatka is going to overshoot there on the trying to get a kill there, but just the quality of the serves, it takes St. Cecilia about 2 hits to kind of corral the ball in after that serve, because you see him either backing up when it gets hit to him or just very awkward to try to kind of corral that serve in. And that's just due to the fact of the great serves by GICC. And there's another one, Carolyn Mazer. She's going to get an ace for GICC. She's going to tie Tristan Hedman with 11 on the year, so they're going neck and neck for aces on the year. Tristan Hedman with 11, as well as Carolyn Mazer with 11.
There have been a lot of aces this season.
And so St. Cecilia going to call another timeout here, down 15-8 against GICC here in the second set. We're going to take a timeout with them, and we'll be back after the break.
Whatever your budget, whatever you haul, we've got it all at Tom Dinsdale. Need to haul your car or equipment? We've got enclosed trailers, flatbeds, and utility trailers. We've even got triple axle dump boxes. Work or play, open or closed, standard or custom. We've got the trailer to keep you hauling at Tom Dinsdale on Webb Road in Grand Island or at dinsdaletrailers.com.
After the timeout by Hastings St. Cecilia, GICC leads here 15-8 at GICC. Carolyn Mazer with the serve. It's going to be par there for St. Cecilia, and she's going to get the kill there, making the score 15-9 here for GICC. And that freshman, Nathan Kreekok, for St. Cecilia, just a freshman now. That's pretty impressive being a freshman, getting a lot of varsity time here for the Hawkettes here. So definitely something to look forward to in the next coming years for Hastings St. Cecilia, having a lot of underclassmen there with a lot of varsity experience. Parr with another hit. Kind of hits the lights, and unfortunately for GICC, that just messes everything up.
That is tough.
You're trying to read the ball, and all of a sudden just gets stopped by one of the lights here at GICC, and it falls harmlessly.
Looking right into the light, and I mean, it's a bad situation.
Kreekok to serve again for the Hawkettes. Maddie Wires looks for a kill, but dug out by the Hawkettes. And Parr is going to send it over. Colonel Mazer's looking to set it to Hadley Hasselman. And then it finally falls to the floor, so Hadley Hasselman gets the kill. Maddie Snyder going to check out of the game, and in comes senior number 6, Avery Kelly. And Gracie Woods, another senior for GICC. Man, there's a lot of experience for GICC, a lot of seniors and juniors compared to St. Cecilia where, and that was in, yes, I was going to say that hit the line, and that's an ace for Gracie Woods.
Good serve there.
Make that the second ace of the game for Gracie Woods. So along with Carolyn Mazer and Tristan Hedman, Gracie Woods has 2 aces of her own, and a bunch of other Crusaders having aces as well. So Crusaders getting a lot of points off aces so far in this matchup. Kind of a short serve here by Gracie Woods. Pass up to Parr. Blocked by GICC. I think that was Hadley Hasselman once again. Make that 8 on the year, 8 blocks for Hadley Hasselman. It's kind of the duo between her and Avery Kelly, just kind of that building that wall there for GICC and not allowing St. Cecilia to get the ball over. Up 8 now are the Crusaders. Woods hits over to Sabatka. Kreekok's looking to hit it over, but man, Maddie Wires and Hadley Hasselman blocked it, but it kind of just went up in the air, and they didn't know where it was at.
Yeah, they just lost it.
And so number 10, Edda Schreiner for St. Cecilia comes into the game. She's one of their leaders as far as kills for the Hawkettes. Lindsay Parr to serve for the Hawkettes here. Down 7 in the second set. Partially blocked by the Hawkettes. They're looking for a kill here. It's going to be number 2. Tristan Hedman making a diving play. Avery Kelly trying to get a block, but a lot of good blocks by both teams so far. Avery's going to try again. Man, corralled by St. Cecilia. Carolyn Mazer passes it, and that's going to be a point. And I believe, once again, a net violation or stepping over the line called against GICC. So point's going to go to St. Cecilia here. Short serve. GICC able to kind of dig it out here. Avery Kelly's going to hit it over. And, man, free ball over to GICC. So really close to being a point there for GICC. Hadley Hasselman gets blocked at the net. And GICC is going to have a free ball over to St. Cecilia here. Tristan Hedman, what a great defender for GICC. Doing a great job there time after time, making unbelievable plays to keep the ball alive for GICC. Carolyn Mazer dives on their own, and Avery Kelly as well, but unfortunately for GICC, after a long point there, St. Cecilia walks away with the point, and just tough for GICC. I mean, you had a bunch of great defense by both teams, and fortunately for GICC, not able to get the point there. Carolyn Mazer over to Hadley Hasselman. She gets blocked, and but it's going to go out of bounds. That was Peyton Sullivan, a freshman. 5'11" as a freshman for the Hawkettes. She has some size there and some length, be able to get up there and block Hadley Hasselman, but it does go out of bounds, and GICC gets the ball back.
Gosh, I mean, everybody's playing well, but the juniors are really showing up tonight. I mean, Tristan Hedman, Hadley Hasselman, Carolyn Mazer. I mean, even Maddie Schneider's gotten in there.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're flying around the court, just playing really well.
Talking about a senior, oh man, Lucy Gaffon not able. She had the right idea, just a little too far, trying to get that kind of inside corner there, and a little too far out, and it's going to be point St. Cecilia.
Tristan Hedman subs in for Hadley Hasselman.
Serve here by St. Cecilia. Set here by over Lucy Gaffon, and she's going to get the kill. Wow. Lucy Gaffon, I mean, it's just so much power coming at you. I mean, she hits the ball with a fury, and you just almost want to get out of the way, Isaac, if you're the defender.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
on the other side.
That would have been terrifying.
Maddie Wires here with the serve. It's going to go over to number 10, that is Schreiner. Here comes Gracie Woods, and she gets the kill for GICC, making it 21-14, and so Crusaders starting to pull away here in the second set. Up 7 now, 21-14 here. And Maddie Wires once again to serve for GICC.
I mean, like we said, just once you get kind of halfway through that set, they just start getting on a roll.
Man, GICC looking to get, and it looks like it's going to be a violation against the Hawkettes here. I believe somebody crossed over once again. Maddie Wires just about had an ace there, but Brian Sabakta is going to put it over. Carolyn Mazer is going to set up for Lucy Gaffon, and that's going to be tipped, but it's going to be out of bounds, but the point goes to GICC.
Those have to be hit so hard to go that far off the hands. I mean,
yeah. And just think about the fingers of the defender there. I mean, just crunch almost. So GICC 2 points away from winning the second set here. Maddie Wires to serve for GICC. And that's going to go. Lucy Gaffon is going to almost slam dunk it. Wow.
Put away.
Wow. Lucy Gaffon showing up late here in the second set for GICC. And here is the set point for GICC, up by 10, 24-14. And it does go long by Maddie Wires. Man.
Just by an inch or two.
So here does come Hannah Gelly for GICC. Maddie Wires goes out. You can see the look on her face. She's like, dang it. Just a little too hard. She hit a little too hard, and it goes out of bounds. And here comes St. Cecilia, Bryn Weeks. And she's going to get an ace serve.
Not quite. Just a little too far back for the senior Hannah Gallery.
Serve here by St. Cecilia. Carolyn Mazer looking for Lucy Gaffon. And she kind of shoves it, but a little too far once again for GICC.
Just a little too much juice.
Man, you're just trying to find that corner, and unfortunately, just a little too far, but it's just one of those deals. Early on in the game, you're not maybe as amped up. Well, I guess depends on how you are as an athlete, whether you're amped up to start off the game, but just a little too far there for GICC. Avery Kelly gets blocked, but it goes out of bounds, and GICC going to win the second set here. So first set, GICC wins 25-16. The second set, they take it 25-17. So at the break here, the cheer team's going to do a performance, and we'll be back for the third set here at GICC. back for this third set at GICC. Isaac, I mean, in the past, these two teams have gone at some really good games. And just kind of tell us about kind of the last few games played between these two.
Yeah, so the last 10 games, GIC has a 6-game winning streak against St. Cecilia, 6-4 in the past 10 matchups. St. Cecilia last beat GIC October 29th of 2019.
Ooh.
So, I mean, St. Cecilia is definitely hungry for a win over GICC, but it's just such a good squad of volleyball players. I mean, these girls have been playing together for years, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat this team.
I mean, that's an experience too by 48th year head coach Sharon Zavala. I mean, how many coaches can you say have been going for 48 years or more? And head coach Sharon Zavala just making a tough match whenever they play St. Cecilia. Man, almost about 3 years since St. Cecilia last beat GICC. So they're looking here at send the winning streak to 7 for GICC here.
I mean, coaches that have been with the program for that long, I mean, they kind of got it figured out. I mean, I can think of another coach, Keith Kester, for football, the defensive coordinator, been there for 42nd year coaching.
It's kind of one of those deals, you reap what you sow almost. I mean, you just see from head coach Sharon Zavala, and Maddie Wires is going to have a service error there for GICC, but just kind of you see all the tradition and all just the culture that Sharon Zavala has built in her 48 years here. She started out the first ever head coach, I believe, here at GICC for volleyball, and so just over the years has continued to build that culture for GICC. And it's really showed up here for sure. Carolyn Mazer over to man, what a good tip by Avery Kelly. She saw that Ryan Sabaka was there. Ryan Sabaka, she's about 5'11" for Hastings St. Cecilia. Just she knew she was there, so what she did is improvise and just kind of hit it over the top of Sabaka. Avery Kelly, the set. Sorry, Isaac. And that's going to be another service error for GICC. So both points so far in the set have been service errors for GICC.
Yeah, I was just saying that St. Cecilia they have 2 girls at 5'11", the freshman Peyton Sullivan, freshman Peyton Sullivan, and then the junior Ryan Sabatka. So, I mean, they do have a little bit of height, but I mean nothing crazy.
Talking about height, Addie Kierkegaard last year for St. Cecilia, 6'2".
Yes.
And she was a very good post defender for basketball and also volleyball as well. So you kind of miss that if you're St. Cecilia, that size that Addie Kierkegaard presented there. And we're going to get killed there by Lindsay Parr, the sophomore for St. Cecilia. But, yeah, I mean, you had really 2 good classes last year with, of course, Chloe Cloud. She was 6'2", and Addie Kierkegaard was 6'2" as well for Hastings St. Cecilia. And add a few more seniors here and there for both
Alyssa
teams.
Wilson, Jenna Heidelk. I mean, good squad.
Here comes Hadley Hasselman, and she's going to get the kill. Perfectly placed there for Hadley Hasselman, and it ties us up here in the third set, 3-3.
I mean, what I say, the juniors have came to play.
They really have. Man, Hadley's had a really good night so far. Few blocks, few kills here and there, and Carolyn Mazer as well, the junior here, set to serve for GICC. Sets up over the Gracie Woods and blocked by, I believe that was number 8, Bryn Weeks. Just 5'7", but she got up there and blocked Gracie Woods there.
Yeah, the sophomore.
Into the game for the Hawkettes is going to be number 10, Etta Schreiner, 5'9" senior. And Lindsay Parr, the 5'6" sophomore, back to set for the Hawkettes. And that's going to be, man, good hustle there by Maddie Snyder, the junior. Just out of reach, but you love to see that hustle if you're head coach Sharon Zavala for GICC. So even though you had that great hustle, it is a ace for St. Cecilia. It makes it 5-3 here. St. Cecilia up over the Crusaders in this third set.
But hey, you know what grade Maddie Schneider's in?
A junior.
He's a junior.
Man, you just love your juniors, don't you?
Hey.
Is it a little biased because you're a junior?
I mean, hey.
That's going to be in by Gracie Woods.
Do with it what you will. I'm not going to tell you either way. Just
hey, that was a senior right there, Gracie Woods getting that kill, Isaac.
Hey, I'm not saying anything bad about the seniors. I'm just saying juniors are showing out tonight. Showing up.
Gracie Woods, she has 5 kills on the night, and also to go along with that, 2 aces, and just that presence as well on defense. Just a great job by the senior tonight. She's having a good game here, and she's set to serve for GICC. Here comes the Hawkettes. It's going to be par, and she's going to go into the net. And so heading error there by St. Cecilia, and GICC ties it up. 5-5 here. Student section, you can hear them all the way up here.
Yeah.
They're showing up tonight here. Hawaiian theme for the first home game of the year.
I feel like it's kind of a basic. I mean, just
It is,
something
yeah.
everyone can kind of do.
Everybody always has a Hawaiian shirt, it seems like.
Not the extravagant bike helmet with
Oh, man.
sunglasses and all black.
That's always fun to see.
Yeah, it is.
So St. Cecilia back up 6-5 here in this third set. And unfortunately, the roster does not show the name of the libero for Hastings St. Cecilia, so I'm sorry about that, but we just don't have a name for her. And it's going to be out of bounds there for Hastings St. Cecilia, and GICC ties it right back up 6-6. And then comes Lucy Gaffon. Watch out for her, Isaac. I mean,
Yeah.
talking about it, I mean, just she's second on the team for kills per set. I mean, just the presence there. You always know every time she hits the ball, it's coming in at you hot.
Mm-hmm.
Avery Kelly kind of a little pass over to St. Cecilia. And good defense by GICC, but it's going to be 4 hits and point St. Cecilia. So St. Cecilia, you got to give them credit. Being down 2-0 set-wise, they're coming back in this third set and playing really tough. And, I mean, talk about the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's ingrained in you as you grow. And, I mean, just the tradition there, just being able to fight back even though you're down 2-0.
Exactly. That's exactly what you want to see as a coach. I mean, just your team not giving up and just playing all, like, putting their heart out on the court.
And point's going to be to St. Cecilia. It was funny to see the reaction of head coach Sharon Zavala. She kind of just shook her head as she walked towards the bench. She thought that was definitely a point for GICC, but the officials do rule it. Point Hastings St. Cecilia, and here comes GICC. Lucy Gaffon. She's almost gets the kill, but dug out nicely by St. Cecilia. It's going to be free ball over the GICC. Lucy's going to get another try, and another great dig by St. Cecilia. Maddie Wires gets a chance. Now GICC blocked out the net, but it goes out of bounds, and GICC gets the point.
There tries the charm.
Oh, man. Give St. Cecilia credit, though. That's very tough to be able to dig Lucy Gaffon when that ball's coming out.
Great, I mean, just great volleyball by St. Cecilia.
GICC down 1-8-7 here. Maddie Wires set to serve for GICC. And here comes Bryant Sabaka. Avery Kelly's looking to hit it over. Man, dug out once again nicely by St. Cecilia. And that's going to be out of bounds, and so GICC ties it up here, 8-8 in this third set. Man, great quality of volleyball here being played tonight between these two teams. Being rivals, it always just means a little bit more when you get to play your rival team to start out the year. I mean, at home, first game of the season for GICC. And that's going to be an ace for Maddie Wires. So Maddie with their second ace of the game. So you got 4 Crusaders that have 2 aces in this game. And that's going to be a kill there for number 10, Etta Schreiner. She was leading St. Cecilia coming into this game with kills, and she gets one there to tie it back up 9-9 here. Rachel Thiessen, the senior for St. Cecilia, set to serve. And that's going to go out. So a couple service errors every once in a while here for both teams. And that's kind of something you see early on in the season, though. I mean, you're kind of getting out the rusty spots as you go along, but service errors are definitely something that you want to minimize, of course. I mean, you definitely don't want them, but it's something that you want to, as the season goes along, minimize those service errors.
Yep.
Here comes Maddie Schneider. Very good serve here, but Ryan Sabaka is going to go here. Tristan Hedman and Gracie Woods is just going to have to hit it over. And, whoa, very close.
Very close.
Man, that was just tough to get it over the net the way it was, and to put it all the way across to the far side and just about get it in. Gracie Woods, I mean.
That was impressive.
Very
impressive hit.
Ryan Sabaka, the junior for St. Cecilia, set to serve. Lucy Gaffon, it's blocked. Wow. St. Cecilia does a great job. And Tristan Hedman, another dig. Carolyn Mazer set up to Gracie Woods. Wow, this defense has been really good for St. Cecilia, not allowing GICC to get points off the first hit, but making them have to work for it. And then Gracie Woods, she's going to get the kill. Gracie Woods up to 6 kills on the night for GICC. And Hadley Hassman comes into the game for GICC. Lucy Gaffon's going to take a breather here.
So we were talking about how once they get kind of halfway through the set that they kind of get going. Let's
Will we
see.
see it
Let's
again?
see what happens. It's 11-10.
Tristan,
GICC.
Tristan Hedman with the serve. Peyton Sullivan, the freshman for St. Cecilia, tries to hit it, but it goes out of bounds. And GICC up 2 now, 12-10.
And you have Tristan Hedman
A junior.
serving.
Yes, she's a junior.
And okay.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just
You weren't
saying
even going to talk about it.
yeah,
Okay.
I was just saying she's been a pretty persistent server.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
So
Tied with Carolyn Mazer for aces on the year at 11. So
that's a lift by St. Cecilia.
did you see after the play, the ball kind of got hit to Maddie Snyder. She kind of flinched and hit the ball right into Hannah Geltley's face. They got a good chuckle on that. But we're going to get a timeout here by Hastings St. Cecilia. We're going to take one with them and be back after a quick break.
Talk about community driven. Thousands of people in the Grand Island community drive certified pre-owned vehicles from Tom Dinsdale. Why? Because Tom's got the cars you can trust. All brands, thoroughly inspected and reconditioned, waiting for you to test drive. Plus, Tom Dinsdale provides more protection for less and more support for good causes all around Grand Island. Isn't it time you drove a certified pre-owned vehicle from Tom Dinsdale?
Tristan Hedman set to serve here for GICC. Ryan Sabatka with the dig. And over to GICC. Carolyn Mazer's going to set it up for Gracie Woods. And she's going to put the hammer down. And that's going to be a kill from Gracie
Again.
Woods.
So they have not slowed down because in the past in this match, St. Cecilia every time after a timeout they've came out and gotten a point. So
That's just experience by Gracie Woods. They're coming in
Yeah.
and just absolutely laying the boom for a 7th kill of the game. And kind of a miscommunication there by St. Cecilia. And here comes Hadley Hasselman. It's partially blocked once again, but GICC able to get the point. Up by 5 now. And you keep talking about it, Isaac. Just seems like once they get to that midpoint in the match, or, I mean in the set, excuse me, midpoint in the set, GICC just seems to kind of pull away from every single team they faced.
Yep.
The junior Tristan Hedman to serve. Here comes St. Cecilia. That's the freshman, Peyton Sullivan for St. Cecilia.
15-11 now, GICC leads.
Carolyn Mazer just kind of tips it over him, and that was great alertness by St. Cecilia not to mess up. And then Hannah Geltley and Maddie Snyder kind
of a miscommunication
it was
there.
Very tough because they were right by each other, and Hannah Geltley not able to get the ball back up.
Exactly.
And point for St. Cecilia. So St. Cecilia back-to-back points here, making it 15-12. GICC on top into this 3rd set. Carolyn Mazer set over to Gracie Woods, and great job by the Hawkettes defense. It's going to be passed over by Lindsay Parr.
I feel like you could have heard that slap from a mile away.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
That was a loud hit.
And they're going to say point GICC. And it was going to be it was a touch actually at the net by St. Cecilia. So I knew it was out of bounds, but they called a touch at the net, and it is GICC's points, 16-12.
Maddie Wires subbed in for Hannah Geltley.
Senior for senior there. And the freshman there, Peyton Sullivan for St. Cecilia, not able to get it over the net, and GICC now up by 5 here. Junior Carolyn Mazer set back to serve. She's had a heck of a night so far.
Yes.
Carolyn Mazer she's kind of the unspoken hero of the team. Just very good for assist and just a great passer. Always setting up somebody for a kill, and just about a kill there from Maddie Wires here. But Lindsay Parr's going to send it over to GICC. Mazer over the Woods. Woods, and that's out. Man, that was really close, but right along the line there, that was just out by a couple of inches there. And St. Cecilia does get the point.
So St. Cecilia kind of able to alter this mid-set run that GICC usually takes.
Doing a good job. I mean, just trying to hold it as close as possible, only being down 4 here in this third set. Here comes Mazer, the Hadley Hasselman, and if they get that over, that's unbelievable defense by the Hawkettes here. Gracie Woods just kind of trying to find the middle, and she gets it there. Great job by Gracie Woods. That's what you got to do sometimes when you're just hitting it right to him. I mean, you're trying to hit it hard, but sometimes it just goes right to him. Then sometimes you have to hit a little bit softer and find that open gap. And Gracie Woods with their 8th kill of
just experience.
The match.
I mean, playing volleyball with Zavala for 4 years, I mean, you've kind of learned.
Oh, yeah.
You've been coached and learned how to hit it hard, how to hit it soft, and just pinpoint where you want to go. So
good serve there by Gracie Woods. It's going to be hit into the net. That's going to be Etta Schreiner, the senior for St. Cecilia. So a hitting error there.
That's not what you want to see from one of your seniors. It's just those little mistakes that.
And that's
then you see the scoreboard kind of just getting a bigger margin.
Leads up to 6 now for GICC. Gracie Woods sets it over. And it's going to be Kreekak. And great hustle once again by GICC. Not able to get it, though. And the point is going to go to Hastings St. Cecilia. So great hustle there by GICC. Just unfortunately not able to get there. And the point will go to the Hawkettes. Hedman with the dig over the Hadley Hasselman. And that's, oh my goodness. And they did as well as they could do, but.
Good try by the Hawkettes. I mean, just as a coach, I'd be so happy with my team right now. I mean, they're just
both teams. I mean,
both teams. But, I mean,
yeah.
St. Cecilia is just, they keep on playing, keep on trucking, and just, I don't know. It's amazing to see.
That was a laser by Hadley Hasselman, and it's going to be a point. Lucy Gaffon gets the kill there, making it 21-14. GICC 4 points away from getting the sweep over St. Cecilia here. Etta Schreiner come out of the game at number 9. Chloe Valentine, a senior for St. Cecilia, to come into the game. That's going to be touched. That's going to be ace for. That's going to be ace for Hadley Hasselman. So Hadley Hasselman, talking about a good night. She has 7 kills and 2 ace serves for GICC. That ace serve is sponsored by Coley Jessen. Here comes the Hawkettes. Partially tipped by Lucy Gaffon, and unfortunately, sometimes when you tip it, it just almost ruins the positioning of your other defenders and not able to get it around and get to that ball. But so point to the Hawkettes there, 22-15 now. Carolyn Mazer over the Lucy Gaffon. Man, that was 4 hits. Or are they going to call a raise or lift? That's a tough call. That was great defense by the Hawkettes, but they're going to call a lift. But very tough call there for the Hawkettes. It goes the way of the GICC.
Not a volleyball referee, but personally, I didn't see it, but they probably did. So
yeah, there's a reason we're up here, right?
Yep, exactly.
Hawkettes, number 9, the freshman. The senior, Chloe Valentine, hitting air there. And now the match set here for GICC, up 9 here, 24-15, and Maddie Wires back to serve for GICC. Here come Chloe Valentine, and that's going to be in for Hastings St. Cecilia. So Chloe Valentine getting a kill there. Just making it 24-16. Rachel Thiessen, the senior for St. Cecilia, and that's going to go in the net, and GICC has swept the Hawkettes in three straight sets, winning the first set 25-16, 25-17 in the second set, and then this last set 25-16 as well. So we'll have player of the game coming back in a couple of minutes. Be sure to tune in for that. The Tom Dinsdale player of the game up next. Back at GICC, our player of the game, Isaac Henry, is going to present our player of the game.
Our player of the game with 8 kills and 2 assists goes to the junior Hadley Hasselman.
I mean, she just had a great night. The junior,
Yes.
as we were talking about, just a lot of blocks, a lot of aces for the junior. And then add that with 7 kills, or 7 or 8 kills on the night for Hadley Hasselman. So great job, Hadley. She gets a $10 Sonic gift card. And so GICC moves to 5-0.
Yes.
Hasn't lost a set all year, and that's pretty impressive, Isaac.
That is very impressive. I mean, just like Northwest, St. Cecilia, all these teams, I mean, they're able.
They're tough opponents.
They are tough opponents, and it's not a walk in the park. But GIC just comes out with their hair on fire. Well, sometimes they come out a little bit slow, but eventually get
going
to where they want to be. Yeah.
But so for GICC coming up, their next game is going to be next Thursday in the Triangular at Donovan versus Donovan and Sutton. Then the next home game is going to be on September 13th at home against Wood River. So that'll be our next kind of presentation for Strive here. But I will do it from the Seder Dome here at GICC. I'm Trent Turek, joined along with Isaac Henry. Thank you all and have a good night.
Goodbye.